Hi, my name's Brooke and I run the Cotton to Market program for Cotton Australia, which has been running for around 6 or 7 years now. So my role is to work with brands and retailers, not-for-profit organisations to try and position Australian cotton in the world textile market. And when we started talking to brands and retailers all those years ago, we realised that we had a really strong story to tell in terms of our sustainability, but that we weren't real great at telling our story on the social side. But the brands and retailers were really interested in that. Some of the big challenges for cotton globally are on the social issues like child labour and fair wages and those sorts of issues. So we really needed to document what we were doing in that space, which is where the Social Report project came about. And it really was an amalgamation of existing industry data and 25 case studies looking at the ways our cotton farmers are contributing to their local communities. So some of the major findings were that we employ 12,500 people on cotton farms, just on farms alone. That doesn't include all of the downstream workers as well. So a significant employer. That 90% of our farms are owned by families, which a lot of people do think that there are more corporate farms than that. So really, the vast majority are owned by families who live in New South Wales and Queensland. We also found that 60% of the workforce in our industry organisations were made up of women, and we certainly know anecdotally that women are very welcome in the Australian cotton industry. And there are lots of women running farms, agronomists, researchers, and a whole range of careers in agriculture. A couple of other interesting things we found from the cotton grower surveys were that cotton growers spend 93% of their business expenses in the local community or adjacent regional areas. So they're very big supporters of local businesses and they will shop locally wherever they possibly can. And also that 9 in 10 volunteer for local community activities, at least one community activity. So again, our cotton farmers are very important parts of their local communities, which are in regional areas. Volunteering is an incredibly important part of how those communities stay together. We also captured 25 case studies of various projects in these communities, and they ranged from projects including mental health, rural health, so getting scholarships so that doctors will come back to the bush, environmental projects like releasing native fingerlings, which are baby fish, into our river systems, which was a really big thing in the Macquarie Valley. And then just most recently, you've probably heard about the horrible bushfires earlier in the year in Australia, and Cotton Australia, this is a small thing, but it donated a whole range of cotton towels to wires to help with the wildlife rescue efforts. So wherever we can, our cotton communities and Cotton Australia are looking for ways to support our local communities. So we're hoping that this report will showcase some of the work that we're doing. We're looking to expand on this and do a much bigger study to document our social contributions. But we really want everyone to know that the Australian cotton industry is looking after the economy here in Australia, its local communities, and most importantly, the families that are working on these farms. Thanks for listening, and happy World Cotton Day.